all over the United States because I'm doing multiple stories on the housing issue, period. It's going to be in the playlist. Let's click below if you're on TikTok. But you all, let's help each other figure out what's going on. Sanctioned encampment. You could technically be in an apartment right now if you could find one that would accept the voucher. Yes. Both have been approved for the rental assistance program, but neither can find a landlord that will accept it.
I had my vouchers in December.
Avon was approved more than a year ago. Both say they were given outdated lists of potential properties to try. It is up to them to make call after call and pay application fees that get them nowhere.
What's the use of a voucher and I can't do anything with it?
Nikita Blanc is getting her master's in sociology at Georgia State University. As part of the program, she spent a year working at the Marietta Housing Authority.
I've been, I've seen the desperation in a lot of people's faces when they can't find a place.
Moved by her experience, she's working with other students to figure out why landlords are locking out tenants on Section 8.
We just want to know, did you not get paid on time? Was the relationship with the tenant bad?
In Cobb County, the Housing Authority says in the past 2 years, the number of landlords actively participating in their program has dropped 20%. And according to our open records request, housing authorities across the state report less than half of the families who get vouchers use them. What would you say is at stake if we don't figure this out?
You're going to see a huge increase in homelessness, women, children, the elderly, our most vulnerable, shout cry, our most vulnerable populations will be suffering.
Ruth still goes. Y'all, it is really sad because so many landlords are no longer accepting Section 8 vouchers to the point where in Atlanta, people are staying in homeless shelters and those tent cities, okay? So this is highlighted in Georgia, but it's happening all over the United States.
All right, what's up, y'all? Prime Supreme, speaking facts unplugged. I got something to say. You are here, so let's get it. My man Sean, firstborn, he's up in here. What's going on, man? It's 2023. I am in a total realignment. I'm Facts Unplugged, Prime, Chris Speaks Facts Unplugged is just going to be my bait channel. This one is going to be where everything lives because I can monetize this channel by way of brand new, fresh to death, and don't have any strikes, et cetera, et cetera. Long story. You don't want to hear about that. But I'm going to tell you, man, I want to talk about this topic. And this is 2023, of course, but this has actually been the issue for 2 years now. And I realize that I have to touch bases on this and regurgitate my intellect and tell you this. Yesterday, I did a story over on Chris Smith Speaks Facts Unplugged, because that's going to be my channel while I still just get raw and rugged. And, they'll never monetize that channel, nonetheless. But I said we are in, Black folks, both men and women, we are in for a life realignment. A life realignment. What is a life realignment? A life realignment is like a wheel of a car. When a car needs a front end wheel alignment, you let the wheel go, the car drifts to the right, your left, it drifts to the right. So you take it into the shop and get on the line and get straight. Black folks have been living off the epitome for decades of I don't care, and our women been living off the benefits of the government. We are now in for a life realignment. You see, if you ever go to a municipality, what you're going to see in the seal of their city hall, more likely their city hall, the city of Newark, New Jersey, incorporated in 1702. So that place is a business. The municipality is in fact a business. You cannot support care for so long. For what I mean by that is this. Single moms have been riding the benefits of we'll care about you. Just get your man out of the house and believe in us, marry us, and we'll set you straight. Well, here's the unfortunateness of that narrative. The system now wants a divorce, and it's not paying alimony. When I listened to that soundbite that I just played for y'all, which was actually a video, but when I listen to it, I hear something that no adult should ever say. Allow me. Oh, gosh. Allow me.
And pay application fees that get them nowhere.
To use them about you, and I can't do anything with it.
Nikita Blanc is getting her master's in sociology at Georgia State University. As part of the program, she spent a year working at the Marietta Housing Authority.
I've seen the desperation in a lot of people's faces when they can't find.
Not desperation, not
women.
women.
By her experience, she is working with other students to figure out why landlords are locking out tenants on Section 8.
We just want to know, did you not get paid on time? Was the relationship with the tenant bad?
In Cobb County.
If you listen to that, if you listen to anybody that have to ask about where you live, did they not get paid on time, deserves to get kicked out of their house. Because how does that look about, how does that look? I'm an adult, I'm living, and the person that I'm living in their house, I don't know if they got paid or not. So let's be clear. Let's go lateral with that narrative. You drive in your car, you pull up to the gas station, you put gas in your car, and do you just drive off? No. So let's apply that narrative. You go to the gas station, you put gas in your car. 2 blocks up the road, siren, lights. Cops pull you over and say, you didn't pay for your gas. Do that person in that car say, well, why didn't the gas station get paid? How come these single moms understand the narrative of life in every other narrative except the one that matters the most? It's over. It's over. And I'm glad. I'm glad. I am glad.com. I am glad to the utmost. I am glad to the almighty high. I am glad. Because the only thing that Section 8 has, the investment is, the woman that invests in Section 8 is the one screaming they don't need a man, men ain't nothing, their kids don't need, all of these narratives. I've been telling individuals for years, you have believed the narrative that these individuals run around here and make the claim. You believed these individuals, and you have allowed a single mom. Let me back up. You listen to a female tell you all the lies with the twist. I'm strong. People, I lift weights. I ain't never told nobody I was strong. I showed them. I ain't got to tell you nothing. I can show you better than I can tell you. I don't have to tell you I'm strong. With me and see what happens. But here's the deal. And this is what I'm going to talk about at 10 o'clock on Chris Smith Speaks Facts Unplugged. I'm going to talk about the riddles and narratives that Black people just choose to constantly want to invoke in their life, except this. I'm strong. You must have a very weak desire when it comes to dieting. I'm strong. You have a very weak work habit. I'm strong. you have a very weak attention to detail. I'm strong. Well, you must have a very weak understanding and narrative when it comes to life. So I'm going to talk about that at 10 o'clock. But what I'm talking about now is these single moms, which is something that, once again, I'm pumping my fist. I'm happy. I'm kicking my heels. So let me tell you about a situation. It's 2023. In 2021, I was doing Lyft. And prior to that, my sister told me that landlords is not taking Section 8 vouchers. She told me this in 2021. She said, and they're now asking for, they changed the requirements. People, there's a way around everything. These individuals, these single moms, they believe in the child support system. They'll go get a voucher, listen to that caseworker, and because they're little children in their mind, what if nobody wants to take the voucher? And of course, the caseworker going to say, well, they got to take the voucher by law. They got to do this and got to do that. And if they don't, you can come back and report them. Any landlord with 4 units or more got to have a certain amount of Section 8Es. Oh, okay. So they walk around with a they said narrative. So these single moms going to apply a they said narrative to a landlord with his property. Well, they said you got to take Section 8. You got to. Okay. Well, I need your income to be 5% of the rent. And then when they go to their income ain't 5% of the rent, they go to the next one. And then the income requirements is XYZ. And these landlords is constantly changing the narratives on what they need for requirements. And caseworkers can't do nothing about that. But what I will never, ever, what I am pleased with to the Almighty High, I appreciate those thumbs up. What I am pleased with to the Almighty High is that we reached single moms is now getting told by the very thing that they are running to, we can't help you. So I'm gonna say this. In the 80s, .com got big. If you hear them say it all the time. If you got in with Google back in the early 90s, you'd be a rich man. Microsoft employs the most millionaires out of any company in the world. You hear all those narratives. You listen to that in 2023, you say, hey, I want in. It's not like that now. That was 20 years ago. Pay attention, single moms, because I'm about to teach you a real quick lesson on economics. When you decide you want to have a baby based on a 30-plus-year-old pop a baby out nigga's narrative, what I'm saying is pop a baby out, nigga. Nope, I don't want you to have nothing to do with this child. So the less you have to do with this child, the more money I make. So I'm going to create a narrative. I don't like the child's shirt. This is what Atia LaShawn Bradley did to me. I don't like she wasn't on welfare, but this is what she did to me. Came up with everything. I couldn't do nothing right. Let's just say that. The child, you can't do nothing right by the child. And what they do is they run down the child support, which Shatia Bradley did. But these individuals, they high-five child support right into welfare. Hence Section 8, et cetera, et cetera. Well, when you've done that and done that and done that and done that, do you honestly think you still can invest in that 30 years later? Do you really think that you're going to say, do you really think at 19, 21, 22 years old, do you really think you can invest in something that many of many of single moms invested in so long ago, and you think the terms of getting in on that investment is still the same? Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you're thinking? That's what you're thinking? Okay. Welcome to reality, 2023. So let me help you understand, single moms. Couple of things are happening now. Number one, the Democrats have taught a lot of landlords that they are in favor of the lazy. The Democrats have taught landlords that they are in favor of the lazy. In the state of New Jersey, there are 50,000, that's right, 50,000 plus evictions on their dockets. 50,000. Let's just say each one of those, so we're going to go 50,000. Let's just say rent was $1,000, and it's way more than that, but we're going to go with argument's sake. So 50,000 times 1,000. That's $50 million a month. Landlords are getting robbed out of their rents. $50,000 a month. I'm sorry, $50 million a month. $50 million a month. This is what I did. I took 50,000 and I times it by 1,000. I hit the equal and I came up with 50 million. So 50 million tenants in the state of New Jersey every month, every 30 days, $50 million, not 50 million tenants, $50 million is being withheld from landlords in the state of New Jersey. $50 million. Every month, landlords in New Jersey are getting robbed of $50 million. People, I'm going to tell you why I never wanted to be a cop. My brother was killed by a cop. So when I got out the military, individuals was lobbying for me to be a cop. And I was like, no. I got a Labrador Retriever. I don't got a pit bull, and I will never own a pit bull. I don't like the reputation that comes with them. If you insist on getting involved with something, you must, I don't know, it also endure the pros and cons. Hence, you must also be and understand the reputation that comes with what you decide you want to be down with. I see what I see in the Black community by Black estrogen. I see just ignorance that was allowed to run free. I see dumb as a curriculum that's preferred. When you ask your landlord, did you not get the rent and you're the one with the apartment? You should get evicted. You should get evicted. Number two, number one was the Democrats helped landlords understand that they're going to side with the tenants. That was number one. Number two, if you paid any attention to the economy, you would have known, but because I said I'm going to teach you economics, you would have known that rental incomes is growing faster than Section 8. So let me give you a crash course in understanding economics. I brought my house in 2020. I brought my house in 2020. Three years later, my house went up $70,000 in equity. I didn't pay $70,000 worth of rent. I didn't pay $70,000 worth of rent. I'm somewhere around $24,000 in mortgage payments. I didn't pay 70. So what happened? Well, single moms, you might not want to hear this, but we had a boom in real estate worth and et cetera, et cetera. So renters, unfortunately, is going to absorb the fallout of a house going up in value. Houses go up in value, rents go up in value. Now, what you're depending on is someone else to come in and say, how many kids you got? Just bring us the father name. We got you. We got you with some coochie insurance. Oh my God, I cracked myself up. I actually just watched me say that. Nonetheless, the problem with Jacuzzi insurance is the city is about to cancel your policy. They can't afford to keep up with the market. So as a homeowner, I'm loving the fact that the real estate market went up. You're on the receiving end. You're a renter. And rent is going up faster than Section 8 can keep up with it. Rents are going up, and Section 8 is saying, I can't afford that. That's why individuals aren't taking it anymore. In addition to that, 3, COVID has shown its ugly. COVID has helped all you lazyans reveal your ugly head. Landlords are now looking at Section 8 saying, oh, so it wasn't about just low-income housing. You was just lazy individuals disguising yourself under Section 8. Oh, if somebody tell you you ain't got to pay your rent, you ain't paying your damn rent. Holy smokes. So you cannot assume that individuals are going to keep patting you on the back. Individuals are going to keep looking out for you. Or you please don't even think they care. It is not the municipality's job to be your damn husband. That's why Section 8 want a divorce. It ain't paying you alimony. And I'm glad. Did I say I was glad? I'm going to say it again. I'm a gladdest. From the island of Gladonia. From the planet, rather, of Gladonia. What are you going to do? Shoot. And so listen to what this individual said one more again.
The Housing Authority says in the past 2 years, the number of landlords actively participating in their program has dropped 20%. And according to our open records request, housing authorities across the state report less than half of the families who get vouchers use them. What would you say is at stake if we don't figure this out?
You're going to see a huge increase in homelessness, women, children, the elderly, are most vulnerable.
Listen to what she said. You're going to see a huge increase in homeless women, children, and elderly. I want to be clear about something. There are more, because she said it in the right order. There are more healthy young women on welfare than there are old people. Let me say that again. There are more healthy young people on welfare than there are old people. Why do you think that is? How is that even possible? There are more. This is the order of Section 8. Healthy young single moms, the elderly, handicapped. How? How is that even possible? How is a young, healthy person in need of more help than an elderly or a handicap? How is that even possible? Well, we ain't got to worry about it now, do we?